a difficult skill. I don't want to say difficult to learn, but it's if you're going to thrive, you're going to have to navigate through really murky waters. Now, for folks who are burning out, for folks who have lost confidence in business, they're thinking, damn, I wanna go back to a corporate job. How do you help them, rediscover their confidence and then eventually thrive?
Let me go back to at a place where you're crashing and when you feel the burnout.
Yeah.
Right? So in business, there's something called the transition curve. Yeah? The transition curve is where the first stage is uninformed optimism. Uninformed optimism. What that is that you're in this business, you're thinking, oh, it's going to thrive, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a millionaire or something, I'm going to make it as an entrepreneur. Only for you to stay in for a bit and realize, oh, I did not know this about the industry, or I did not know this about that.
They didn't tell me this.
They didn't tell me this, and then you get to the second stage, which is informed pessimist. Now you become a pessimist because you have extra information that makes you think maybe it can work, maybe it will not, right? Now it's at that point that someone gets to the third stage of crashing, of what we call crisis of meaning. Crisis of meaning means now you're there, you're struggling because now you have a bit of information about why this business will not work. The hope has died, right? And now you're thinking, do I go on? Or do I leave it? Right? For those that choose to go on, they move to a stage called now informed optimist, because now you're an optimist based off of the information that you know. You're like, I already learned this about the industry. These are the networks I need. These are the skills I need. These are the kind of clients I want to serve in this industry. And you thrive from there.
And for you to get to the informed optimist stage, you've gone through hell.
Oh, you have. And for those that don't, they're the ones who crash and burn. Because you think this business is so bad, but the problem, but that might not be the problem because others are thriving.
Exactly.
In it, right? So you realize the information you have at that time is very, very important. Why did I fail? What is the industry like? How do you grow a business in this industry? What are the most or key important things that I need to have for me to get into the informed optimist stage? Some people do, but sadly some people don't. I have had sessions where we sit with an entrepreneur and, we are discussing, let's go this way, let's go this way. And they're like, man, that's just too much work. Let me just focus on other things. Or another person would be like, has told me, no, let me close this business. I have another idea. You know what happens when you go back to that idea? You go back to step one.
I know, man.
It's been 3 years, but now you go back to the uninformed optimist. Because this is a different business, different rules.
And it's a cost.
Different. Yes, it is. So this person goes back, and that's why Kenyan businesses get to this point. Because someone starts the business, they get to stage 3, they've crash and burn, they move, start a different business, they start all over again. Now it becomes a very vicious cycle.
And then you blame it on the economy.
Yes, and now you will start blaming it on all sorts of things. But it is never you. But I always say, as a business person or as an entrepreneur, you are responsible for the decisions that you make. Yeah? And that's why I do what I do. You are fully responsible for the success of that business, fully responsible for how much money that business makes, fully responsible about how it scales, right?
Or even how it fails.
Or how it fails. You are the key. You're the key man.
So that's why it's very important to get a mentor.
It is.
Yeah, because they're going to keep it real with you.
Or just even a group of entrepreneurs who you can share this and they can share different ideas. I told you when you're in that bubble, even the simplest solution doesn't seem like a solution to you. But if someone else says it, then there is more clarity. And that is what you want to always seek as an entrepreneur, clarity.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you handle folks who've gone through so much rejection, right? You get they're always, trying to sell their businesses. cold calls, nini, the feedback is horrible, right? And now they're losing sight. They're thinking, you know what, this thing is not for me, manze, right? So, for folks like those, what do you tell them? How do you guys navigate?
We go back to, like I said, why are you failing? No, we want to answer those questions. We don't want to ignore, because that person will go and start another business and make the same mistakes.
Wow.
Right? That's what happens. That's what happens.
But the product is dope. You know what I mean? I feel like I've done everything. We're in a good location. Still, I'm getting, rejections. Yeah.
So, first things first, I would mostly say the person hasn't gotten their market right. It's like selling. Let me say a Louis Vuitton in like a lower income area, and saying that my product is dope, but no one is buying, and it's stressful because you're in the wrong location.
Yeah.
You need to move. You need to go back and ask.
Yeah.
Perhaps I haven't found the right market. If your product is dope, who has told you it's dope and people are not buying?
There has to be a reason people are not buying.
Yes.
Or maybe they're not familiar enough.
Maybe they're not familiar enough.
Okay.
Maybe it really doesn't have the value that you think in your mind. Us entrepreneurs are very in love with our businesses, very in love with our ideas. Maybe it really doesn't solve much what you think it will be solving. Yeah. So we really need to understand why. Why is it failing? You could be in the wrong location, and you think you're in the right location, or you could be talking to the wrong people, or you just don't know how to sell.
So that actually is going to lead me to my next question. So what do you think is a major priority? Is it learning how to sell, like sales, or marketing? Where should I spend more of my money on?
As an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to sell. I've met people who say they don't want to sell.
But if I keep on selling, but you guys are not familiar with my business or my product, then how will that cut?
So who are you selling to? That means even your sales strategy is wrong. Goes back to the same thing. But of course, marketing is very important. Having people know about your product or your service is very, very key.
Yeah.
But that also still doesn't guarantee a sale.
That's true.
And that a sale is what makes a business. Right? With no sales, you have no business.
You have no money to market.
You have no money to market. Right? So you see, it's quite a cycle that you need to really figure out. Of course, at the very beginning, have a marketing budget. Let people know what you do. Let people know how your product or service solves their problem. Right? So that is very key. But you need to learn how to sell. You need to even have like a sales plan. Not the problem I actually see right now, Kev, is you say you're going to have a marketing budget, and then the marketing, you expect that through the marketing you're going to convert.
It's true.
But you see, that's not sales.
Yeah.
What is your sales process? What's your sales plan? And that's the problem also when you're scaling and you're bringing in people and, you're wondering, hey, I've hired a business development person or I've hired a salesperson, but this guy's not selling, right? So it just goes back to that. How do you sell? What's the sales plan you've given to this person? If you cannot sell yourself, how do you expect this other person to come in and just sell what you're also not able to sell?
Everything equal. We are scaling. How would you advise businesses to grow without actually losing their authenticity, without losing their purpose? Because I know sometimes guys can get excited and say, "Can we try out something else?" Is that a bad thing? Am I supposed to stay on track?
You need to be very agile. Yeah, you need to be very. You see, even that's what I said, even when you build a strategy, we need to know that it can evolve. It's not a static document that sits there and say, oh, we had just said this. But oftentimes you find that the vision is still very clear.
Okay.
The vision is still very clear. Why? Because the need that, or the solution you're giving to the market, most probably it will not change over the years. How you solve that problem is what will change. But the actual problem that you're going to and the actual thing that you're trying to solve as a business, that rarely changes.
I like it. I like how you put it. It's the how that changes.
Yeah.
Not the problem, not the solution.
Not the problem. The problem says put. The solutions are what keep changing over the years.
Wow.
So with strategy, you have to ask ourselves, the problem is still the same. That's why I'm saying strategy rarely changes in terms of the clarity of the vision of what the entrepreneur is trying to do rarely changes, but strategy can evolve because it's the how.
Yes. Other than Nairobi, okay, maybe I don't know about you, but to me, which other counties do you like in terms of biashara? Where are the opportunities in Kenya? From your perspective, when you look around?
I think opportunities are everywhere. For real. I am not even kidding. Sometimes maybe I go for a vacation or just like a business meeting somewhere, go there and think, oh, these people are doing like this is their way of life. Oh, if you put up a business like this and you attract them like this, then you'd make some cash around this place. Might not be much, might not be your unicorn, but you'll still make money as a business, right? So for me, I see opportunity everywhere, honestly, because people have problems out here. So many problems to solve.
It's true.
Here.
Yeah. You just have to be very keen, and you
have to be very keen. You have to be very observant. You have to really see what are people even willing to pay for. Right?
You know the reason I asked you, I remember there's a time, Costo Juan, he was trending because he said some very, very interesting things, very controversial. He was saying, the reason he came to Nairobi is because you can never make a buck. You can never make a killing in Kisumu, especially for artists. I don't know whether you saw that conversation. And it sparked a whole, people started talking about these things. And, for example, even people who are in the arts, for example, in that whole industry, most folks imagine that the only way you're going to thrive is to come to the big city. And I'm sure also other industries, they're saying, Nairobi is where there's opportunity.
Everything, yes.
Yeah, so you're saying there's always a problem to solve.
There's always a problem to solve. The kind of problem you want to solve is what is different. That's what now will tell you, I need to be within this vicinity or otherwise, right? Because different problems affect different people. The kind of problem that someone has somewhere in Bungoma is not the same problem someone has in Nairobi.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Or rather, the nuances, the problems might be the same, but the nuances are what
or maybe the spending powers.
Or the spending powers or the purchasing power. So you have to ask yourself, what that's why I said, you have to go back to being honest, truly honest with yourself. And that, I think, is the biggest, it's the biggest problem that as an entrepreneur, you'd be trying to crash. That what am I here to do? Yeah.
What social media platform is best for business so far? Which one do you think there's people can actually use and thrive in?
Different products, different platforms.
Oh, okay.
Say, for example, if you are mostly in consumer goods, you want to be in places or spaces like TikTok.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because you want this person,
products.
Fast moving. You want this product to be visible to the client as many times as possible. But say, for example, if you are you're doing some form of very unique stuff, like some specific engineering kind of thing,
right.
Ata you wonge marangapi TikTok, you will still not get a client if that is the aim.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. So back to what you have to understand your industry.
Yeah.
You have to understand the value chain. Understand where you are in the value chain.
Yeah.
Right? So that's really key. That's really key.
Yeah. Right.
And those are the kind of decisions now I'm saying. Myself, we come in and we discuss about this thing. We discuss about the output, the outcome that we want to see. And ask ourselves, is this the best possible way to get to that outcome?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
As we wrap up, 3 final questions. Okay, for Gen Z folks, Yeah, Kwanzaa, but then I'm going to talk about a crazy research that was done. And they're talking about how Gen Zs are very sad. Anyway, so for young Gen Z folks, you know, who are getting into business, what is the one thing that they have to do to be successful in this very unpredictable markets that we're in?
The first thing or the only thing? The first thing they have to do, get into hustle mode very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hustle mode means you have an idea, test it out, put it out there.
Yeah.
Try,
take those risks.
you know, take the risk. Give yourself, give yourself about 3 months of consistently putting something out before you even put money to it. Just experiment in different ways that this business could pan out. Yeah. Sell to people, talk to people. Yeah. Give it like 3 months and see, you know, try different things and try to see, will this work or will it not work? If it's not working, throw it away and find something else. But most importantly, and something that I also did myself, is go work with an entrepreneur. And it seems simple, all these things that you're saying, but
almost like intern with at their space.
Yes, be in that space, be in that environment. Make sure you're in the space where you understand what decision needs to be made at what time. Place yourself in such an opportunity for real, and get to understand what does it actually take to run this business. What does it take to talk to a client? Now when you say sale, someone thinks I'll just come, Kev, here I'm selling this. You'll be like, what's your till number? No. You know, every single day. But when you're doing this every day, you realize, today is a good day. Tomorrow I have no sale at all. Do you cry? You know, do you wake up the next day and, you know, carry on, or what do you do? So first things first, if possible, try working with an entrepreneur. Try and understand the mindset and the different things that need to be done, and then try out your own thing. Most businesses have not been successful at the first trial. So try different things, experiment different things. If it's not working, try something else. Speak to people, find a community.
I love that. And if there's a book, some sort of resources that you would recommend for, you know, folks in the MSME space to, you know, at least read and consume for them to get this type of knowledge?
I would say it's called Personal MBA. Personal MBA is a very good book because it helps you understand the nitty-gritties of what every business should have. You know, someone would ask me, are you sure you really can help me? You've never worked in this industry before. You know, and that's very common. But let me tell you, all businesses have key functions that if they do not, it doesn't matter what business you're in, these functions are there. The skills, so the skill to be able to analyze all these functions is what I have now, right? But you come in as the expert within that space. And that is why we co-develop.
Exactly. I love it. If there's one message you would like the dreamers in this country of ours, the hustlers, the doers, the builders, to walk away with this evening, what's that message?
That, and this also is perhaps maybe why I do what I do, that it's not just about you. Getting into business you might have stumbled into it, but the fact that you're there and you're already making some cash, the economy is even relying on the kind of people who have done that to employ, to help other people learn, because you see, unemployment is very huge, and most people who get employed get to work with entrepreneurs. So I would want every business to work on being an enterprise, not just being on hustle mode, because being on going enterprise means that you're able to support more people.
Correct.
You're able to support the economy as a whole, and you're able to just build a better narrative to all this hustling thing and all these economic issues that people are having. So let the business vision and let the business goal not be just from a problem perspective or you problem, but how are you able to change the world, even in the smallest way? If you're skilled and you're blessed in business, why not grow it so that you're able to have more people live and learn from you? Why not grow it and if not employing, inspire other people and tell them this can actually be done. I'm doing it. A lot of people are doing it, but wako chini ya maji. And with every client I meet, I'm always asking, how are you able to bring in more people to their business? How are you able to? There's someone right now, maybe you're an interior designer. There's someone there who's learning interior design in somewhere. How do they get to the market? Because immediately they leave school, they're very confused, right? Or it's so hard for them to get any kind of employment. Why not be a space where we are building an economic space or a business space where we are able to let future generations come in and get inspired by what we are doing and keep growing and keep growing. That's how we build better businesses in Kenya.
But let me ask you something, Lois. For the past couple of years, recently, especially in the recent past, we've had conversations about the unemployment crisis in the country. We just came off a very crazy Gen Z Mandamano last year. So the conversation amongst youth is that, this is not an environment for guys to thrive in the sense of even business. There's a sense of apathy. Guys are very stressed and they're saying things are really bad in Kenya. My question is, do you think Kenya, Nairobi specifically, is still a land of opportunity for youth? With all these things that we read about on the news. It is. And I've met youth who are doing amazing things. Of course, not ignoring everything that's happening in the economy, the stability in the country and all that, because all those are factors, but doesn't necessarily mean that the opportunity is not there. Right? Every year we have like 800,000 people come into the job market. And only about a fraction of those get into formal employment. So think like 100,000, 150. Where do the rest go? Where do the rest go? So the opportunities are still there, but it's hard for you, Kev, to see an opportunity if you don't even know what the possibilities are. Right.
Okay. So, because I've met people, the opportunity is right here, but they cannot see it. Why? Maybe you've not been exposed enough. Maybe you've not seen enough narrative to carve your mindset a certain way, in a way that will help you see the opportunity. So the problem is not opportunities. The problem is how they are presented to people, and that's why we need to change the narrative and build better businesses and say, actually, businesses can work in Kenya. This is how it works. From the education bit, from the government support in terms of making a better environment, to all other ecosystem stakeholders who come in, to either train, support in some form of way. We have it's a program I saw that I really love, where you're supporting the creative economy. Right. So what are you doing by doing this? Is you're showing these people that there is a chance.
Yes.
There is space for you. But if the younger people keep hearing this narrative over and over and over again, and they're not even seeing the success of this, that, I remember the first day I went to work, and I'm sitting there and I'm asking myself, okay, what does my future look like? And then I'm looking around, I'm seeing the people who are doing what I'm doing and have been here for 30 years. Where are they? What are they doing?
Exactly.
And then you tell yourself, you know what? Maybe this is not maybe the right space for me. Right? That's when now your mind begins to work and you begin to ask yourself, what more can I do? But to see the opportunity is the challenge. The opportunities are not the problem. It's to see the opportunities.
I love it. You're very, very positive. Thank you so much for coming through, Lois. What's your contact information in case somebody wants to partner or work with you? You know what I mean? How can they reach out?
Okay, great. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Lois Masharia. You can also contact me on email, either lois.wm8@gmail.com or lois@wildinternational. That is WYLDE international.com.
Good stuff.
So those are my two emails that you can reach out.
But they actually like the work you guys do also, that Wild International. You get so much value.
Yeah,
you guys are
we
doing a good
have to
job
keep
giving
helping.
back.
Yeah, we have to keep helping people see the opportunities and think about things differently.
Yeah,
because
nice.
right now sitting here, and if you've been stuck maybe like in that bubble, and there's some things that you might say that might shift somebody's mindset or might make me see a problem as, either I get an answer to that problem. Either I need to close or I need to do A, B, C, D.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it all comes back to sharing information, useful information, not just any information, useful information for that business, as much as possible, putting it out there, talking to as many people so that they are able to see what you see.
All right.
Right? I thought that someone mentioned this to me, that whatever I see so common and like common knowledge might not be that common. But you see, if you're doing something every day, even right now, I'm sure even for you here, if you make me sit on your seat right now and you're like, can't you see that button? It's so easy, just pull it up. But I'm like, how? You're like, what's so hard about it? But you're so used to it already. Right, so that's the dream. That's the dream, to just share as much information and to help people see things as you are able to see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's been real. I understand. And I'm definitely going to invite you again, because there's different parts of this conversation that we can tackle. Asante sana. 24 minutes after 8, Bahamadia coming through with You Know How We Do. And then, of course, we'll touch on other, really important conversations. There's a lot of trending stories in the country anyway. So remember the hashtag is After Hours on Spice. And you can also stream live on www.spicefm.co.ke.